Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Sanya dan Vanessa from class A with student ID number 252122111011. Okay, today I will present my midterm assignment for the Phonetics and Phonology course based on the book English Phonetics and Phonology by Soenjono Dardjowidjojo. I choose this topic because as an English learner, I often wonder why some words are pronounced differently from how they are written. Through this topic, I learned that even small sounds differences can change meaning, like pie and buy. Sometimes, even when we use the right words, people still don't understand us. Not because our grammar is wrong, but because our pronunciation doesn't sound natural. That's why I believe learning phonetics and phonology help us speak more clearly and confident. It makes us understand the rhythm and flow of English. Not just what we say, but how we say it. Let's start with phonetics. Phonetics studies how speech sounds are made and heard. It focuses on what our mouth, tongue, and vocal cords do when we speak. For example, pie and buy differ only by one sound, which is p, p, and p, p. But their meanings are completely different. By studying phonetics, we learn to hear and pronounce English sound correctly. This helps us with sounds that don't exist in Indonesian, such as in think and in this. Then, phonology explains how sounds are used and arranged in a language. For example, English allows words like spring with spr, but not ngopi at the beginning. In contrast, Indonesian allow ngopi or ngomel. Phonology helps us see these language patterns and understand why some English words sound strange to us. And now, about sound and letters. Sounds are not the same as letters. For instance, the word he has two letters but only one sound, he. One sound can appear in many spellings, like E in B, week, and people. And one letter can represent different sound, like A in B and bell. That's why English spelling and pronunciation can be confusing. Finally, phonemics. Phonemics studies which sound change meaning. For example, pie and buy differ by only one sound but have different meanings. However, some sound differences do not change meaning. For example, pat and tap. Both use p, 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 but one has aspirations and one doesn't. So, in English, they're still the same phoneme. P, p. As a future English teacher, I believe this topic will be very helpful, especially in my career. I can read English well, but sometimes I struggle with sounds that don't exist in Indonesians, like th, th in think and th in this. By learning phonetics and phonology, I can guide my student step by step, showing how to make the sound, not saying they are wrong. For example, I can teach the difference between live and live or bad and bad through mouth position and simple games like minimal pairs. It also helps me understand how a student's first language affect their pronunciations. So, instead of judging mistakes, I can help them improve naturally. Learning them help us speak English more naturally, teach it more effectively, and connect with others through clear communications. So, for me, this topic is not just theory. It's practical guide to making English sound alive. Thank you for listening and watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.